Jurassic Park, 1993. Film synopsis by Zillur Movies Recapped. The story begins on Isla Nublar, a small island 120 miles off the coast of Costa Rica. A big group of development staff and animal handlers offload a big container, the creature inside unseen. In the course of the course, the animal makes an attempt to flee, an act which results in a mass panic, and the loss of life of one of many staff. The story jumps ahead to an amber mine within the Dominican Republic, the place we study that miners extracting amber are concerned with a genetic engineering firm referred to as INGEN. We additionally study that the loss of life of the employee seen earlier has raised critical considerations concerning the security of the island, based on Donald Gennaro, an INGEN consultant, and that the proprietor of the island is now in search of prime scientific consultants within the discipline to assist endorse the park. Whereas he speaks to the person in control of the mine, Juanito, his crew finds a big chunk of amber with a preserved mosquito inside. At a paleontological excavation in Montana we're launched to Dr. Alan Grant, and his assistant Ellie Sattler, as they slowly uncover the fossilized stays of a velociraptor, maybe nature's most deadly and crafty predator thus far, a gorgeous specimen advanced to kill. A part of Grant's analysis experiments with a brand new radiological machine that shoots a probe into the grime which bounces a picture of an uncovered raptor skeleton again to a PC display screen. Grant is hesitant concerning the new expertise, however appears fascinated with the picture it produces without having to dig. He's additionally a follower of a long-held principle amongst paleontologists that dinosaurs advanced extra from birds than reptiles. One and all his assistants has introduced alongside his son, who scoffs at the picture on the display screen, unimpressed with the truth that it appears to be like a useless turkey. Grant tells the child a narrative about how velociraptors would hunt their prey with quick coordinated assaults. The boy is horrified when Grant explains that after their prey is introduced down, velociraptors would usually eat their prey alive. The dig is lower brief by the sudden look of Grant and Sattler's foremost sponsor, the aged and eccentric billionaire, John Hammond. He invitations them over to endorse his newest mission, a distant island resort, the place he claims that their distinctive organic sites are assured to drive kids out their minds. Alan and Ellie are reluctant to go away their dig, however Hammond entices them by providing to fund their work for 3 extra years. Grant and Sattler are accompanied by 2 different characters, the equally eccentric chaos theorist Dr. Ian Malcolm, and the lawyer, Donald Gennaro, who represents Hammond's buyers. As they arrive by helicopter, they're handled to a novel spectacle of dwelling, respiratory dinosaurs. Simply the sight of those mighty beasts, a towering Brachiosaurus accompanied by a herd of Parasaurolophus, is sufficient to go away the shocked guests breathless, save for Gennaro's offhand remark, "We're gonna make a fortune off this place." Later, as they arrive at the island's central resort and management facility, the guests are given a quick tour of the method that created the animals. INGEN has succeeded in cloning animals from easy strands of DNA salvaged from mosquitoes that consume dinosaur blood, and have been preserved for thousands and thousands of years inside fossilized amber. The group is proven the egg incubation room, simply in time to witness the start of a child velociraptor, a sight that deeply disturbs Grant. He asks to see the place the adults are housed. The particular containment facility saw within the introduction, a fortress of electrified fences and dense foliage, all that separates the people from probably the most harmful creature on the island. Grant is witness to each day feeding of the animals. A cow is lowered into the pit, solely to be stripped clear inside moments. The guests, and the viewers, are spared the grotesque sight of the carnage by the thick protection of jungle foliage. The group prepares to expertise the theme park's central attraction, through which guests embark on a safari-like tour of the park, on particular electrified Ford Explorers. Grant, Sattler, Malcolm, and Gennaro are accompanied by Hammond's 2 grandkids, Lex and her little brother Tim. Because the group heads off, Hammond settles into the primary management room, the place his 2 laptop consultants, Arnold and Nedry, handle the advanced infrastructure of the park. The tour is essentially uneventful. The Tyrannosaurus rex and Dilophosaurus, 2 extraordinarily harmful carnivores, refuse to disclose themselves to the keen vacationers. A sick Triceratops can be encountered, tended to by the park veterinarians, whom Sattler leaves the group to assist out with. An approaching tropical storm forces the tour to be lower brief, as a lot of the workers go away by ship for the mainland. Within the meantime, we study the true colors of Nedry. He has been employed to steal dinosaur embryos for Ingen's rival company, Biosyn. As a way to steal the embryos, he shuts down safety techniques all through the park. However, this additionally causes the tour's electrical vehicles to interrupt down, and the electrified fences shut down, thus releasing the dinosaurs from containment. Within the movie's most thrilling sequence, a T-Rex escapes its enclosure and proceeds to wreck the tour autos. Gennaro is eaten, Malcolm is critically injured, however, Grant manages to flee with the terrified kids. Within the meantime, a misplaced and confused Nedry, attempting at hand over the stolen embryos to his contact, encounters a venom-spitting Dilophosaurus, and justice is dealt. Sattler and the park warden Muldoon arrive in a jeep on the website of the T-Rex assault to seek out the injured Malcolm and the stays of Gennaro. However, everybody else has disappeared. The T-Rex returns to provide chase to the jeep down the highway in a thrilling automobile chase of a motion sequence. However, the people finally handle to flee. Grant and the youngsters spend the evening sheltering up a tree and get up to discover a Brachiosaurus grazing close by. Lex is initially frightened. However, Grant reassures her, and the viewers, that brachiosaurs are peaceable herbivores, and that dinosaurs aren't monsters, they're simply animals. As soon as extra, we're given the chance to understand the sweetness and majesty of those magnificent creatures. With Malcolm injured and park techniques nonetheless offline, Arnold is pressured to take drastic motion and reset the system, an act that has the unintended penalties of releasing the vicious velociraptors from their enclosure. Arnold, Muldoon, and Sattler try to revive energy, solely to have Arnold and Muldoon outsmarted and killed by the crafty creatures. Solely Sattler manages to narrowly keep away from getting killed. After witnessing a stampede of ostrich-like dinosaurs generally known as Gallimimus, Grant and the youngsters make it again to the primary resort Advanced, solely to seek out it deserted. Grant leaves the youngsters in the primary eating space and tries to seek different survivors. In the meantime, Lex and Tim are cornered by a pair of raptors inside the primary kitchen. In one of the terrifying scenes in all the movie, the raptors stalk by way of the darkish kitchen, looking for the youngsters. Ultimately, Lex and Tim handle to lure one of many raptors into the freezer and lock it in. However, the different raptor chases them out of the kitchen. Assembly up within the management room. Grant, Sattler, and the youngsters try to revive energy and communications to the park, however, are trapped in by the identical raptor. Within the nick of time, the safety techniques and telephone traces are introduced again online. However, the raptors handle to interrupt into the management room and offers chase to our heroes all through all the construction. Ultimately, our heroes are cornered by the final two raptors inside the primary atrium. Simply as all hope is misplaced, the T-Rex comes crashing in and assaults the raptors, shopping for sufficient time for the small group of people to flee. Because the people evacuate the island by helicopter, the T-Rex provides a remaining victory roar behind a falling banner proclaiming, "When dinosaurs dominated the Earth." The ending scene is sort of highly effective and epic, and completely captures the spirit of the movie in portraying dinosaurs as among the most luxurious creatures to ever stroll the Earth. Summaries: a realistic paleontologist touring a virtually full theme park on an island in Central America is tasked with defending a few youngsters after an influence failure causes the park's cloned dinosaurs to run unfastened. Enormous developments in scientific expertise have enabled a mogul to create an island filled with dwelling dinosaurs. John Hammond has invited 4 people, alongside his 2 grandchildren, to hitch him at Jurassic Park. However, will every part go based on the plan? A park worker makes an attempt to steal dinosaur embryos. Important safety techniques are shut down and it now turns into a race for survival with dinosaurs roaming freely over the island. On Isla Nublar, a brand new park has simply been constructed with genetically engineered dinosaurs. Tragedy strikes when one of many staff is killed by a velociraptor. The founding father of the park, John Hammond, Sir Richard Attenborough, requests paleontologist Dr. Alan Grant, Sam Neill, and his assistant, Dr. Ellie Sattler, Laura Dern, to return to the park and make sure that it's secure. Additionally, become a member of they are Hammond's lawyer Donald Gennaro, Martin Ferrero, and chaotician Dr. Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum. Once they attain the island, they're amazed to find that Hammond has created dwelling dinosaurs. Nonetheless, at a similar time, all of them have their doubts. Later, Hammond's grandchildren Lex and Tim, Ariana Richards and Joseph Mazzello, be part of the group on a tour of the park. Sattler leaves the tour to care for an in poor health Triceratops. Quickly the facility within the park is shut down by laptop techniques geek Dennis Nedry, Wayne Knight, who needs to steal embryos from the park to promote to a secret purchaser. Within the course of many dinosaurs escape their paddocks, together with the lethal Tyrannosaurus rex, who, throughout a thunderstorm, escapes his paddock and assaults the youngsters, and eats Gennaro. Malcolm is injured and Grant and the youngsters are then misplaced within the park. In the meantime, Hammond, Sattler, and the remainder of the operations crew study that Nedry, who within the meantime has been killed, has locked up the PC system to cowl his tracks. They try to get energy again within the park with a view to escape the island. After shutting down the system, then restoring it, the group realizes that velociraptors are additionally on the Unfasten, and at the moment are on the hunt for the guests. Paleontologists Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler and mathematician Ian Malcolm are amongst a chosen group chosen to tour an island theme park populated by dinosaurs created from prehistoric DNA. Whereas the park's mastermind, billionaire John Hammond, assures everybody that the ability is secure, they discover out in any other case when numerous ferocious predators break away and go on the hunt. In excessive hopes of placing the buyers' minds relaxed, John Hammond, the visionary billionaire entrepreneur, and founding father of the bioengineering firm, Ingen, calls in 3 consultants to witness the wonders of the first-ever dinosaur protection. There, within the remote island of Isla Nublar, the guests' wide-eyed pleasure will quickly flip into pure horror, when the paleontologist, Dr. Alan Grant, the paleobotanist, Dr. Ellie Sattler, and the cynical mathematician, Dr. Ian Malcolm, come face to face with ferocious primeval reptiles on the Unfasten, after a devastating malfunction. Now, the final word apex predator, the Tyrannosaurus rex, is on the hunt for contemporary meat. Can they escape from the terrors of Jurassic Park? On a distant island, a rich entrepreneur secretly creates a theme park that includes dwelling dinosaurs drawn from prehistoric DNA. Earlier than opening the attraction to the general public, he invitations a prime paleontologist, a paleobotanist, a mathematician, theorist, and his 2 keen grandchildren to expertise the park, and assist calm anxious buyers. Nonetheless, their park go-to is something however tranquil because the park's safety system breaks down, the prehistoric creatures get away, and the joy builds to stunning outcomes.